of a payout in terms of what they're earning. There are a couple ways to do it, but the most common way is you have essentially three things that you can own as a member in an LLC. You can own profits, you can own losses, and you can own the capital. What you could do is make them a capital interest member at a minuscule amount, so they own 1% of the capital of the company. They're going to get a K-1 that says they're not getting a distribution, they don't have to pay anything in taxes. At some point, if you ever wind up the company, they get 1% of whatever the actual on-hand value of the assets are, if that makes sense.
Makes sense.
Okay. Yeah.
I have LLCs that no longer have any assets.
Okay.
Now, can I use those same
Yep.
LLCs again?
Yeah, in fact, were they set up in Arizona?
Yes.
Yeah, Arizona, unless you designated a time for them to shut down, they are good in perpetuity, and yeah, so there's really no issue
I
there.
haven't for a while because I didn't want the new owner of the LLC's assets to suddenly decide a year later that, there was something I should have done that I didn't.
Well, even then, they're technically supposed to sue the LLC.
Right, if there's nothing in the LLC, I waited
so
a year and a half.
Right, and there's a claim. There's a claim called fraudulent transfer, and the idea is if I own an LLC and I do something like sell all the assets of it off, or let's say that I own an LLC and I sell off a portion of it, and when I do it, I know that what I've done is something that could subject me to a claim because I had fraudulently concealed some issue with the company, or the portion of the company that I sold, and then I sell the remainder of the assets without retaining anything to cover that claim. Technically, that's what's called a fraudulent transfer, and I can come after you. If I sold the company and I have no liability in connection with the sale, meaning that there's nothing that I should have known, the mere fact that someone decides to sue doesn't mean they get to come after me personally. They have to prove that there was a fraudulent intent in transferring out the assets.
Right, if there's an earthquake underneath that house, I really didn't know anything about it.
Well, that's between you and your...
Well, I mean, in the future.
Sure.
Right.
Sure. Anything else?
Chad, let me ask you a question.
Mhm.
In a single person LLC, or say you had a single person LLC, is it possible that the other member of the LLC could be, for instance, another, LLC per se?
Sure. Yeah, that's the nice thing about an LLC is that you can continue to add any type of members that you want. Trusts can own a membership interest, individuals, other LLCs. There's a lot more flexibility there than you'd have with, for instance, an S corp.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Chad, we appreciate your
Thanks so
time.
much.